Hey guys, I'm back with another video here. This one is concerned about angle variation questions that you would see on the ACT. You'd also see something like this on the SAT. There's quite a few questions that I'm going to be going over, so I'm going to divide this into 3 different videos, keeping them roughly about 6 to 10 questions each. With that in mind, one of our purposes is to make sure we're helping everybody that we can. And in particular, we think about those young adults that don't have any help outside of class. So hopefully these videos will help you. And if they do, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so let's get moving forward. The first one, question number 1. So we have a circle, and a circle with a center C. Points W, X, and Y and Z lie on the circle. The measures of angle WCY is 100. The measure of angle XCZ is 80. And the measure of WCZ is 150. What is the measure of XCY? So let me do this. Let me draw it, make it a little bit larger. Let me make sure I've got my pen selected. I do, so that's good. So here's W, here's C, here is Z. Oh, that's a bad Z, isn't it? Let's fix that. There's my Z. Now we got a line coming out of here, like so. There's our Y. And I'm going to make X a dotted line just to break up the solid line monotony. Okay, so the first thing they tell us here is WCY is 100. So WCY, we know that will be 100. And then they tell us the measure XCZ. XCZ will be 80. I'll put the 80 right here. And then they tell us that WCZ, going all the way around like this, is 150. All right. 100 degrees, 80 degrees, 150. Now, we want to find XCY. So the first thing we can do is we can say, well, WCZ and subtract WCY. So 150, subtract the 100. That's going to leave us 50. That 50 is going to be represented by YCZ. Okay, but we need XCY. So if we take XCZ, which is 80, and we subtract the WCZ, which is 50, we get XCY, and that's what we're looking for. 30 degrees, and that's going to give us answer choice C. All righty, let's move to the next one. So triangle ABC is collinear. Sorry, triangle ABC and collinear points ACD are shown in the figure below. The measure of angle A is 43 degrees. The measure of angle BCA is 4y degrees. And the measure of BCD is 11y degrees. What is the measure of angle B? Well, we need to figure out what y is so we can work our way back to B. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say, well, 4y plus 11y is going to be equal to 180 degrees. Okay. Now we need to figure out what y is. So let's factor out the y. Y times 4 plus 11 is equal to 180. 4 and 11 is 15. That leaves our y. So 15y is equal to 180 degrees. Y is equal to 180 degrees divided by 15, which gives us a value of 12. So y is 12. So now we can figure out what angle C is inside the triangle. So step 2. 4 times 12. And that's going to be 48. And that's going to be for angle C. Third thing, we can say 43 and 48. When added together gives us 91. Now we can take and subtract 91 from 180. And when you do that, you get 89. That 89 degrees is going to give us angle B. And that's going to be answer choice C. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so angle A has a measure of 20/3 pi radians. Angle A and angle B are coterminal. Angle B could have which of the following measures? So they're coterminal. They're going to rotate around and land on top of one another. But what degrees match? With that being in mind, the first thing we're going to do is take 25/3 pi radians, and we're going to convert it to degrees by multiplying it by 180 over pi. The pi and the pi cancel. 25 times 180 divided by 3 gives us 1500 degrees. Now, how many revolutions is 1500 degrees when we're thinking about it going in a circle? So 1500 divided by 360 degrees. That gives us about 4.16 revolutions. Okay, so 4 revolutions gives us how many degrees? So 360 times 4. Sorry, let me fix that. Got in a hurry. So 360 times 4 is going to be 1,440 degrees. So that's not 1500, but the difference between the 1500 and the 1440 gives us what was remaining, the 0.16. So the difference between the two is 60 degrees. So that 0.16 of the 4.16 revolution is 60 degrees, which is going to be answer choice D. Okay. So in a plane, the distinct lines A, B, C, D intersect at A, where A is between C and D. Okay. So, let's just draw something that gives us something similar to that idea. So here's A. Let's call that A and B. Now we know CD intersects at A. So right here, let's call this C, and let's just move that through as D. Okay. So what is the measure of BAD? All right. BAC is given to be 47. So what is BAD? Well, 180 minus the 47. 180 minus 47 is going to give us 133, right? 133, 133 degrees, which is going to be answer choice D. I think the thing that gets a lot of people is just drawing the picture here. It doesn't have to be perfect, as you can see. All right. So now we come into what looks like a cone, but they got a right triangle in it. And they say the radius of the base of the right circular cone is 5 inches. The height is 7. Solving which of the following equations gives the measure theta of the angle formed by a slant height of the cone and radius. Okay, so basically what we got is a right triangle. Now we need to figure out which one of these formulas can be used to give us theta. So we know we're looking at the triangle. Let me just draw it here. From this perspective. So we're looking at the triangle from this perspective here. So this side is the opposite. And that's also 7. This side is the adjacent. And that's also 5. Okay, so let's just look at all the sine, cosine, tangent formulas that we know here. So we know sine of theta is going to be equal to opposite over the hypotenuse. Cosine of theta would be equal to the adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is going to be equal to the opposite over the adjacent. Well, we have the opposite and adjacent sides, so that leads us directly to the tangent formula. The opposite is 7 and the adjacent is 5. So therefore, we're looking at answer choice G. All right, let's go to the next one. Our last one. So they want to know what the measure of angle BCD is. And they show you right here. We're looking for it right here. Here's what we're looking for right here. So how are we going to work our way back there? Well, we know angle F in the triangle has got to be 25. Now, we got a 90-degree angle in there, right? So we can say, let me change my pen tip. We can say the 90 plus the 25, 5, that's 115 degrees that we know of. So you know that you can subtract that from 180. And when you do that, you get 65. So inside the interior angle of the triangle C is 65. Okay. So we end up having 65 inside here. Let me change my pen tip color. So this is going to be 65. But we need this angle out here. So what are we going to do to get that angle? Well, we know the opposite angle over here would be 65 too, right? So 65, well, let me change my pen tip, sorry. 65 and 65, 10, that's 130. Now, going in a complete circle around C, 360 minus 130. So we're going to have 0, 3, 230 between those 2 points. So 230 split in half. So that's going to be, let me do it over here, 230, 1, 3, 115. So our angle is going to be 115 degrees that we're looking for, and that's going to be answer choice G. Okay. We're going to stop right there. Hopefully making these shorter for you won't waste your time, and you can scoot through them quickly to see if any of these questions would really be helpful to you. I hope they are. And for all of you guys that are out there studying for the ACT and or the SAT, I know it's coming up here soon in April. I wish you all the best. Just stay focused, keep studying. You can get the score you want. Have a plan, follow your plan. And when you need help, reach out and get help from somebody. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe so that we can help those young adults out there who don't have anybody helping them outside of class. With that in mind, I wish you guys all the best.